Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to another hour of English classes here on verbling.com. My name is Lisa, and I'm one of the English teachers here on verbling.com. And in this hour, we're going to be having a reading class. So if you would like to practice your reading at the intermediate or above level, then feel free to join us in the Google Hangouts. The way that you do that is you click on the Join Class button. For the first 2 minutes of the class, once I start the video streaming live, the people who have reservations have an opportunity to come into the class, and then after that it's available for anybody else that is a member of verbling.com. If you're coming across verbling.com for the first time and you're checking this out, trying to figure out what's going on, one of the things that Verbling offers is English classes. We have English classes pretty much 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and sometimes 2 at a time. So you can take your classes anytime you want, in the day or the night, whatever works for your schedule. And all you need to do is become a member. So you do have to pay some money, but it's a pretty good deal if you get to use it often. So welcome, everybody. Hi there, Raphael. How are you?
Hi, Liz. I'm fine. Thank you. What about you?
Good. Good. I was just listening to the last part of the class with Samantha, and you guys were in the jungle, and it was very funny. I didn't get the whole thing. I listened a little bit when you started, and then I had to go to the store, and when I came back, I listened a little bit more, and I just know that you guys were laughing and having fun, and something about apes.
It's supposed to be a role.
Right, role playing, yeah.
But you just started with apes and everything get crazy.
Yuki's funny. I know in the role playing classes with Yuki, I like it when he's like he plays the mom or the dad, and he can
he's really creative.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay, hi Diana, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Welcome. Diana, where are you calling from?
I'm from Canada.
Oh, from Canada. What part?
Yeah. Manitoba.
Manitoba. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. But you're originally from?
From Israel.
Israel, right? Okay, I remember now.
Yeah.
So how are you doing?
I'm fine, yeah, but really cold.
Really cold. Do you have snow on the ground?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really? Oh wow.
A lot of snow.
Okay, well, stay warm.
Thank you. Tomorrow we will go skiing.
Oh yeah, cool. I'm gonna go skiing also tomorrow. My first time for this season.
Okay.
Yeah. Where do you go?
Here, like in my city, there is a ski club.
Nice. Ski club. Yeah. Do you take a bus up to the mountain?
No, it's a little city here. There is no buses. It's just private vehicles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm asking because I'm going tomorrow, but we have what's called a ski bus. So it's a private. Well, actually, it's a school bus, but we pay. The kids pay, and it's like for teenagers. And then I'm a chaperone, so I get to go for free. And yeah. So
no, we have this opportunity.
I see. Okay. All right. And hi, Omar. How are you doing? Omar, your microphone's muted.
Yes, hello teacher. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good. And Yuki, how are the apes? Yuki?
Yes, civilization of apes exists.
Yes.
No, but no one believed me.
No, they didn't believe you.
Yes, very sad.
I didn't understand the whole evolution of that story, so I just heard the last part, but it sounded like you guys were having fun, so that's always a good time.
I'm
just
sorry
believe
for
him,
confusing you.
Lisa, please.
Just believe
him. Yeah.
It's
okay.
Kind of nonsense.
Kind of a nonsense, yeah, but that's fun. You had people laughing. That's a skill. Okay, well, for something completely different now, besides the role playing and the apes, we're going to be reading here, and it's actually not a very long article like some of the articles that I choose, but I got it off of that website that you mentioned the other day, Nihon, the Take Part website. Yeah. So I was looking on there for something interesting and just came across this that I thought was kind of interesting and that would lead maybe into a little bit of a discussion. I think we will have time at the end.
Did you like the website?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it has pretty good articles.
Yeah, I didn't read a lot, but I read a lot of the headlines, like what they were about, and I was checking out different ones. But it seems like a good place, so I'm going to go there for more articles to read with people. So,
yes.
Yeah. Do you read that regularly?
Yes, for 2 months I found different nice stories who hasn't published before, and sometimes I catch some stories in New York Times that they just pick from the Take Part, and it's a really famous and big website actually. But I haven't read a lot, maybe 10 or 15 articles, but it was pretty different.
Yeah. Yeah, I had never heard of it before. You told us, but I'm going to check it out some more. Okay. So this one is, I thought it was funny and interesting because here in the United States, of course, you guys know about McDonald's, and McDonald's, as well as other fast food restaurants and cafes, even like my own coffee shop that I used to own. I'm no longer an owner in that. What happens is people can come there and stay like all day. And so this is what this is talking about, and the title says, "This McDonald's will call 911 if you don't stick to the fast in fast food." So 911 is the emergency number here in the United States, so which you're only supposed to call 911 if it's really an emergency. Like if you're having, you're choking, or somebody's dying, or somebody got hurt, or there's an accident, or something like that. But so they're saying basically they'll call the cops. So yes, here we go. And Nurel, I want to say hi to you also before we start.
Thank you, Lisa.
Hi, Nurel. Hi. And there's the link for the article. Okay, this McDonald's will call 911 if you don't stick to the fast in fast food. A group of Korean immigrants is in trouble for staying too long and ordering too little at this McD's in New York City. When fast food stops being, fast, McDonald's has a problem. That appears to be what's happening at a particular franchise location in Queens, New York, where a group of elderly Koreans that gathers there every day to gab and drink coffee has gone from being local color to something of an unwitting protest movement. Okay, Yuki, why don't we start with you?
Okay. From title, no?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The McDonald's will call 911 if you don't stick to the fast in fast food. A group of Korean immigrants is in trouble for staying too long and ordering too little at this McDonald's in New York City. When fast food stopped being fast, McDonald's has a problem. That appeared to be what happening at the particular franchise location in Queens, New York, where a group of elderly Koreans that gathers there every day to gap and drink coffee has gone from being local color to something of an unwilling protest movement.
Okay, so to stick to, so it means if they are not being fast. So sticking to something means you stay with it or follow the rules like it is. So the fast in fast food means you're supposed to get it and eat it fast and leave. They want people to come in and out as much as possible to sell as many hamburgers, french fries, milkshakes, things like that. So what's happening is there's this group of Korean immigrants, and they are in trouble. So to be in trouble means you are going to have to, they're going to come and say something to you. For example, in the classroom, if kids are talking, they might say to each other, "Be quiet. You're going to get us in trouble. We're going to get in trouble." So you don't want to be in trouble. The teacher might come, the cops might come, your parents might come, that kind of thing. All right, so what's happening is that this particular franchise, so McDonald's is the type of restaurant that has franchises. It's a location. So it doesn't have the same owner. They have different owners, but they're all McDonald's. So you guys might know about that. I think nowadays there are lots of even American franchises in other countries, including McDonald's, of course. Starbucks, yes. Subway, I know, is in Brazil, stuff like that. All right, so they came there every day to gab. To gab just means to talk, to chat, to chit-chat with each other, and drink some coffee. And the problem is that it has gone, so this idea of them coming there every day has gone from being local color. So when we say it's the local color, it's like the peculiarities or the unique things that happen locally. So, maybe people who live in this neighborhood, they know about these guys. They're the locals, and the color is the uniqueness, the thing that's happening special to this neighborhood. And so it's gone from just being that, like kind of a nice thing, oh yeah, those Korean guys, they sit at the McDonald's and drink coffee and talk all day, to something of an unwitting protest. Unwitting means it's like you didn't even think about it ahead of time. It just kind of happened. So this is what has been happening. In a story that weirdly, wonderfully appeared in the New York Times today under two bylines, no less, the fight between the Koreans, the restaurant's management, and yes, the New York City Police Department is detailed. The group of septua and octogenarian loiterers who shuffle into the McDonald's on the corner of Parsons and Northern Boulevards on walkers or with canes, in wheelchairs or with infirm steps as early as 5 a.m. and often linger until well after dark, had, as they seem to do every day, long overstayed their welcome. Okay, Raphael.
In a story that weirdly, wonderfully appeared in the New York Times today, under two bylines, no less, the fight between the Koreans, the restaurant's management, and yes, the New York City Police Department is detailed. The group of septua and octogenary loiterers who shuffled into the McDonald's on the corner of Parsons and Northern Boulevards on walkers, with canes, in wheelchairs, or with infirm steps, as early as 5 a.m. and often linger until well after dark, had, as they seem to do every day, long overstayed their welcome.
Good. Okay, so this, like you mentioned, Nihan, maybe they do this, but this story was written, looks like, kind of based on some stories that were written in the New York Times. And he says in a story that weirdly, but also wonderfully, so he uses these two descriptive words. So it's kind of weird article that they're talking about this, and it's kind of a weird story, but it's also wonderful that the New York Times wrote about it. So it appeared in the newspaper. It came out in the newspaper. And in fact, under two bylines, no less. So the bylines are like where it says the title of the story and who wrote it and the time and the date and that kind of stuff. So it means there's basically like two stories were written about this particular incident. It's the fight between the Koreans, the restaurant's management, so the people who own that particular franchise, and then also the New York City Police Department is involved. So there's three different groups of people involved. and the article is the articles are very detailed. So they told a lot of the details about the specifics of what is happening. To be detailed means you tell a lot of the story, not just a little bit. You tell a lot of the facts and the different things that are happening. And this is how we talk about people who are in their 70s, the septua and octogenarian. So those are people in their 70s, and octo means 80. They are loiterers. Loiterers are people that just hang around. A customer is somebody who buys stuff and then they leave. But a loiterer might buy one little thing but then stay a long time, or sometimes a loiterer might be a person who stands outside of your business but doesn't actually ever go in to buy anything. The verb is to loiter, so they just hang around or loiter. And in the United States, a lot of places that are very busy, loitering is illegal. You can't just go and like place yourself out in front of a business and hang out there all day. You have to move along, kind of thing. So what's happening? Yes.
7 and 8. 7 and 8.
70 and 80-year-olds.
70 and.
Yeah, so these are septuagenarians, would be 70-year-olds, and octogenarians are people who are in their 80s. This is the prefix here, the one that tells you.
Elder people?
Yes, elderly people. So these are a group of elderly or older Korean men, mostly I think, but maybe there's some women in there. But what they're saying here, so it's in quotes, so if people who are looking at how the writing is being written and the punctuation and everything, quotes, who shuffle in. So these guys shuffle into. So when you think of shuffling, you think of older people who can't really walk very normally or with strong steps. They kind of shuffle their feet along the floor. So that's kind of the image you get when you say that somebody shuffles into somewhere. They're walking slowly with steps that are very short steps, and they don't pick their feet up off the ground. So older people shuffle usually. And so they're shuffling into the McDonald's. And they're bringing, their walkers. So the walkers are the things that older people hold on to help them walk, and they put it in front of them as they're walking each step. Or the canes, like a stick that you hold on to help you balance yourself. Or even in wheelchairs, they're coming in. Or with infirm steps. That means, like, if you are infirm, it means you are sick. But in this case, it just means, they're very old, and so they're kind of not very steady, so they look weak. So that's the description, that the infirm steps. So when they're walking, they're just, you can imagine these older people coming into a McDonald's. They get there really early in the morning, 5 a.m., and they often linger. So linger means to stay for a long time, just kind of casually. You're not in a hurry. You just keep staying and staying and staying. You just linger on and on. And so they say they have overstayed their welcome. So we use this phrase a lot of times to talk also about guests, like at a party, or guests who are staying at your house. You don't want to overstay your welcome. This means you don't want to take advantage of the people who are hosting you. So it's a kind of a thing of being polite. Maybe if you're supposed to, be at somebody's house for 3 or 4 days, but you stay there 10 days instead, you overstayed your welcome. You weren't really welcome in that area or that house or that business for that long. So it was too much time. So that's what they're being accused of, is overstaying their welcome. While they do drink coffee and sometimes split an order of fries, no one is ordering Big Macs in earnest. The McDonald's is so thoroughly treated as a public space by the group that some leave around noon, go grab a free lunch at the senior center, then return to their seats below a sign that informs customers they have 20 minutes to finish a meal. That's a notion these men just can't accept. Okay, Norel. Your microphone is muted, Norel.
Okay. Lisa
There you
from
go.
where?
Yeah. Well, it's while they do drink coffee. Whoops. Sorry.
Okay, while they do drink coffee and sometimes split and order fries, no one is ordering Big Macs in earnest. The McDonald's is so thoroughly treated as a public space by the group that some leave around noon, go grab a free lunch at the senior center, then return to their seats below a sign that informs customers they have 20 minutes to, would you scroll please, Lisa, to
Yeah.
finish a meal. That notion these men just can't accept.
Okay, that's good. All right, so while they do, so even though when we use this word, while this happens and this happens, they're not doing this other thing, is the kind of the structure. Yeah.
Lisa, please, sorry to interrupt, but
No.
I want to ask you something. I
Sure.
have a band, like a band, white band on my screen, and it's hold me from seeing the the text. So my
That's
question
weird.
is, yeah, is anyone have this band, white band?
No.
Huh.
No,
No, I
no?
don't. No.
It's my laptop, I think. It's my computer.
Yeah, maybe your screen or something. Did it just appear just now?
Well, last class and this class.
Weird.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't.
Everything is normal for us.
Okay.
Yeah, for me it looks normal, thankfully.
Yeah, that's why I was asking to scroll down.
Yeah, I
So
was
please.
wondering if you. Sometimes people who are maybe looking at an iPad or something, the screen's not very big. I need to scroll up sooner. But if you're just on a computer or a laptop or something, then yeah, interesting. You don't have it. It's not like another window that's open or something, maybe.
Oh no.
It's on your screen then, huh?
Yeah, on my screen.
Weird. Yeah, I don't know. Is that your husband's computer or is it yours?
Yeah, it's mine.
Your new one?
Yeah, the new one.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. I have to see this.
Yeah, you should.
Only for Hangout?
Yeah, is it only during the Google Hangout?
Yeah, Lisa, you see Raphael picture?
Yeah.
Okay, you see this white band here?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have it in the middle of my screen.
Oh. Did you click on, are you looking at the text right now? Did you click on me or are you clicking like on him?
No, I click on you. I mean, I
And
click
there's
on
the
you.
white, yeah, with the screen share.
Mm-hmm.
You could try refreshing your page, see if that makes a difference. I don't know what else, how to help you right now.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't know why that's happening.
I'm going to refresh the.
Okay, we'll see in a minute. Okay, so they do get something, but at McDonald's coffee can cost like really nothing, so it's not like a big expensive item that they're getting, like $1 or something maybe. And then they might split an order of fries. So when you split something, it's when you share it with other people. So again, an order of fries is not a lot of money either, especially if 3 or 4 people are going to eat the fries. And so nobody is ordering Big Macs in earnest. Just means like nobody's really buying anything significant. In earnest means like really doing it. So nobody's spending any money at this McDonald's, yet they're spending all their day there. In fact, they're treating it thoroughly treated as, so like thoroughly means totally or completely. They're using it as a public space. They even leave to go grab a free lunch, to go get a free lunch at the senior center nearby, probably, and then they come back. They return to their seats and they sit down, and it's funny that they put this in here, that they sit down below a sign. So underneath where they're sitting, up above them, there's a sign that tells customers, or informs, to inform is to tell, that they only have actually 20 minutes to finish their meal, what they're eating. But, they don't seem to care about that. That's a notion, that's an idea or concept that these men just can't accept. All right, do you think you can drink a large coffee within 20 minutes? David Choi, 77, said, no, it's impossible. Unlike students in areas with limited library hours and no home internet connection who crowd tables at McDonald's to use the free wireless to do homework, these Korean men are unwanted, to say the least. While the actual cost of that network connection amounts to repeat sales of food and drinks for the chain, making students welcome loiterers, these men buy practically nothing, and management has responded to their unpaying presence by repeatedly calling the police. Okay, Nihan. And hi there, Joe.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Joe. We're just reading. You can click on the link that's in the Verbling chat for the article if you haven't done that already. And it's Nihan's turn, and then since you jumped in there, it'll be your turn next.
Okay.
And then Diana. Okay, Nihan.
Unlike students in areas with limited library hours and no home internet connection who crowd tables at McDonald's to use the free wireless to do homework, these Korean men are unwanted, to say the least. While the actual cost of that network connection amounts to repeat sales of food and drinks for the chain, making students welcome lotteries, these men buy practically nothing, and management has responded to their unpaying presence by repeatedly calling the police.
Mm-hmm. So, unlike the students, so they are not like the students. They're talking about the areas. So, in some areas, public libraries have limited library hours. That means maybe they're only open until 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. So they're not open all night long, for example. And then they're talking about kids who don't have internet at their house. So they don't have any, they have no home connection to the internet. So what they do is they crowd the tables. That means they just fill up the tables with sitting there.
This crowd is from the word crow, like a bird?
No, not that would be crow.
Crow.
Yeah. The verb is to crowd, or you can also say to crowd around. So it just means that a bunch of people go in one place. So a crowd. So the noun is a crowd.
Okay, it's like a big crowd.
Yes.
On a demonstration, like.
Yeah, or a concert, or something like that. Yeah, big group of people. But the verb is to crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, crow to crow would be the bird. Like when you're making a sound to crow.
To crow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But in this case, they're talking about these kids who gather around the tables. They sit down. They fill up all these tables because they're sitting there with their computers doing their homework using the free wireless. So that's what people did at my cafe, too. We have lots of people who come in and buy a cup of coffee and stay there for hours and hours because they're doing their work or they're just checking Facebook or, whatever they do. So these Koreans, so unlike the students who are welcome, the Korean men are unwanted. So they don't really want them there. And this phrase here at the end of the sentence says, to say the least. So it's actually stronger than they don't want them there. They've actually been calling the police because they don't go away. They don't stop coming. So to say the least is kind of like downplaying it. It's like, yeah, that's not even telling you the whole truth. They actually really want them to just be gone. They're more than unwanted at this point. They're getting frustrated with them. The students.
Sorry,
yes.
Could you repeat the explanation of
yes.
the meaning to say the least?
Yeah. So we have to remember what we're reading because this is kind of like a tag at the very end. You just like an add-on. So so we're talking about the students they like, and then we already know that the men come and they don't spend any money. So then he says these Korean men are unwanted, to say the least. So to say the least means he's trying to say that's a nice way of saying it. So to say that they are unwanted, and then to say the least, means that is a nice way of saying what's really going on is more stuff. So what's really going on is that they keep calling the police, and so it's not just that they're unwanted, it's even bigger than that now because they keep coming back and they're not listening to them. So the management of McDonald's is really getting upset. So the phrase "to say the least" is kind of saying that that's the least of what they want. You know, this part of here, them being unwanted, that's the least of the problems. There are bigger problems. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you use it the way you know, to say the least is when you make a statement.
Korean men are unwanted for the management of McDonald's.
They are unwanted by the management because they are not paying. You know, they're not buying anything and they're staying there all day. That's the problem. Yeah. So to say the least, that's the kind of a way to say, like, yeah, you know, there's more to the story actually, but we're just gonna, the unwanted part, we're saying that just a little bit. So and then what he does is he goes on to explain what is happening, why it's a bigger story. So the actual cost of the network connection, so, you know, the fact that they're letting the students use their free wireless, that certainly costs some money, but what they're actually doing is giving, they're actually buying stuff. So repeat sales. So kids, you know, they're sitting there, if they're going to be there for 2, 3, 4 hours working on their computer, they'll buy soda, then they'll buy some fries maybe, then they're going to buy something. They're not doing the same thing as the guys the older guys who are coming there. So for the chain is McDonald's. We call that a chain store. A chain is like a bunch of stores. So McDonald's is a chain, Subway is a chain. You know, any of those big corporations, those are called chain stores or chains. So, but they're saying here that the students are welcome loiterers. So while they're welcoming them to hang out, the other guys, the Korean guys, are not. And it's because they buy practically nothing. So basically nothing. They do not spend very much money at the McDonald's. And because of this, they're unpaying presents. So presents means they're just there, sitting there, but not buying anything. They have repeatedly called the police on them. So time and time again, they keep calling the police to come and tell them to leave, basically. What do they do after being thrown out by the police? They just come back. It's like Occupy Wall Street minus the rhetoric and the people's mic. And these 70 and 80-something men are just as determined to hold their benches as OWS, Occupy Wall Street, protesters were to maintain their presence in Zuccotti Park. Okay, Joe. Hey, Chow.
Okay. From where I should read?
Joe, you can read, what do they do after being thrown out? There.
Okay. What do they do after being thrown out by the police? They just come back. It's like Occupy Wall Street minus the rhetoric and the people's mic. Okay. And these 70s and 80s something men are just as determined to hold their benches as OWS protesters were to maintain their presence in Zuccotti Park.
Good. So the cops come. They throw these guys out. That means they tell them to leave. So they are being thrown out by the police. And the question is, what do they do after that? And the answer is just simple. They just come back. So they don't really care that they're being thrown out. They just keep coming back in. And so the author is saying it's like Occupy Wall Street, which is, you guys might remember, protesters in New York City, but minus. So it's kind of like Occupy Wall Street in the sense that they are occupying the McDonald's. They keep just going there and sitting down and doing their thing, but they don't have the rhetoric, so the speeches, and they don't have the people's mics. So I don't know if you guys remember, but there were, with the Occupy Wall Street protesters, there was a people's microphone where people could give talks and say things to the crowd, and so they don't have that kind of stuff. And of course, these guys are older; they're in their 70s and their 80s. These men, and they are as determined. So they are just as determined to hold their benches. So the seats where they sit are the benches by the tables, as the protesters were. So just as determined as the protesters were to maintain their presence. So he's making an analogy or comparison between these Korean guys who want to keep staying at their McDonald's and doing what they've been doing to the protesters who wanted to also stay or maintain their presence at the park where they were protesting. Outside the McDonald's on Saturday, Sang-young Park, 76, and his friend Il-ho Park, 76, tried to explain what drew them there. They come every single day to gossip, to chat about politics back home and in their adopted land, hauling themselves up from the banquets with their canes to step outside for short cigarillo breaks, and they could not say why they keep coming back. After a short walk around the block to blow off steam every time the officers removed them. They said they had each been ousted 3 times so far. Okay, Diana.
Outside the McDonald's on Saturday, Sang-young Park, 76, and his friend Il-ho Park, 76, try to explain what drew them there. They come every single day to gossip, chat about politics, come back home, and in their adopted land, hauling themselves up from the banquets with their canes to step outside for short cigarette breaks. And they could not say why they keep going, coming back. After a short walk around the block to blow off steam, every time the officers remove them. They said they had each been ousted 3 times so far.
Okay. Outside. Okay, so here's these guys, and he tried to explain, so to tell the reporter or whoever was talking to them what drew them there. Why to be drawn to some place means you just go there. You don't necessarily know why, or you might know why, but it means you like to go there. If you are drawn to go to a certain restaurant, or you're drawn to
you know, it's maybe like action for them, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean they're older guys, so they don't have
they
much
have
going
fun.
on.
They don't mind that police officer come
exactly.
and threw them out. Why not?
Right. Yeah, who cares? Yeah.
I think like it's all elderly people like this.
Yeah, my grandparents used to go to McDonald's for breakfast and sit around and talk, and I don't think they do that anymore, but it's just a place to go, you know, leave your house, you know, and do something else, be around people, you know. So, yeah, they say they go there to gossip. Gossip just means to chat, talk about people, you know, talk about your family, your friends, what's going on in life, chat about or talk about politics back in Korea, and also in their adopted land, which would be the United States. Hauling themselves up, so that means picking themselves up. To haul means to pick up and take somewhere, so it means they're getting up off of the banquets, the benches, with their cane. So he's painting a picture for you of what it looks like with these older guys, you know, and they go outside or they step outside to smoke a little bit, and then they come back off. They go around the block to blow off steam. To blow off steam just means to just have something to do, you know. Just when you blow off steam, it just means you're bored doing what you were doing, so you go do something else. And they said they've already been ousted 3 times. So ousted means kicked out or thrown out of the McDonald's. So if anti-fast food activists or fast food strike organizers are searching for new ways to catch the ire of McDonald's, they may want to look at Occupy Flushing McDonald's for inspiration. That's the last short little thing. Hi, Chow. You can just read that last little part.
Sure. So if anti-fast food activists or fast food strike organizers are searching for new ways to catch the rise of McDonald's, they may want to look at Occupy Flushing McDonald's for inspiration.
Good. So, I don't know if you guys know this, but in the United States recently there were some protests against fast food establishments or restaurants, you call them. And there were activists who were fighting for the fast food workers to get a raise. They wanted them to have more of what you call a living wage here in the U.S. So I think it was especially in New York that they were protesting and organizing people. So he ends his article just by saying, like, you know, if activists want to look for another way to catch the ire of McDonald's, or you could say to make them mad, basically. To catch the ire of somebody would be to make them upset or angry or mad. They might want to look at what's going on here for inspiration, for ideas on what to do. Flushing is the neighborhood. That's the name of the neighborhood that this is happening in. So Occupy Flushing McDonald's. So the McDonald's that's in the neighborhood of Flushing. So
Lisa, please,
yes.
What's to catch the ire? What that mean?
So the ire is the noun, and that means somebody's ire is anger. So it's anger. So if you want to catch the anger or the ire of McDonald's, it means to make them mad. So if you are an anti-fast food activist or a fast food strike organizer, you're organizing strikes against fast food restaurants, and you're looking for new ways to make them upset, to make McDonald's upset, this could be it. So to catch the ire of means to make somebody or a company or something upset or angry. Because that's what's happening here. These guys, they're just doing what they want to do, and they're not necessarily hurting anybody, but it was the management at the business which is saying these guys are, frustrating for us because they take up space without spending any money. So that's kind of the idea here. So we have about 15 minutes left. Everybody had just a short turn to read, but now I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this? You guys have been talking about it a little bit already in the chat. So so now you guys can say. Nihan, you mentioned that you like it specifically because it represents kind of what older people are like. They just do what they want to do. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely, and they have all right to do that. I think, yeah, I can understand the manager, but McDonald's is really rich, and I guess the manager should be rich. Maybe they can arrange another space for them, and they can keep coming, and they don't do anything illegal, I guess.
No.
Maybe. And in Turkey there are lots of cafes that the elderly people can go, and they can only spend, what can I say, $1 for a day, because they are retired and they have no money, not a lot of money.
Sure.
And their wives don't like them to stay at home.
Because kick them out.
Yeah, when somebody just getting 80s, it's really irritating because they are doing everything at home. I know from my dad, and it's really distracted for my mother.
Yeah.
And they can go to that kind of cafes. They can play cards. They can spend a little money, maybe a symbolic money.
Sure.
And I think it's about the Eastern countries. I don't know why. The wives just doesn't like them around.
I just want to say, I think it's a problem just for management of McDonald's. I just remember that I was visiting my parents, and There was a McDonald's in the center of the city, and all people just was coming there to washrooms, you know?
Oh, to go to the bathroom and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it become like you entering in a McDonald's, and it's you see how would you see like a line of people just standing to washrooms.
Oh,
and
okay.
it was a
Who
big
cares
problem.
about
Yeah, it's
McDonald's?
nothing. It's not bad. Like it's a free washroom, but it's become problem for management. So
Yeah.
what they did, they just they put a man there near washrooms, and you just can came to washroom just if you have if you
Like a
have
receipt or something.
receipt from if you ordered a meal, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Diana,
actually.
I just want to say, who cares about McDonald's? Who cares, really?
No,
Yeah.
but I think it's a maybe it can be a problem for big chains of restaurants. It's not about. It's just example of McDonald's, but it's
Right.
can happens in every like fast food restaurant.
Yeah, actually, it is a problem for businesses in, especially number one, tourist towns. So even though
tourist towns.
a lot of people don't live in my town, for example, we do have a lot of tourists in the summer, and they're always looking for a bathroom. And as a small business owner, I had to spend a lot of money on toilet paper and stuff, and also
on cleaning
stuff, and they would break the toilet, so I had to like fix the toilet, or they broke the lock. So we didn't tell them or anything, but in New York City, when there's already millions of people and then tourists, it is true that in big cities in the United States like San Francisco, New York, and Seattle, they will put signs up in their windows that say, like, for example, restrooms are for customers only. It doesn't necessarily stop people from going there.
Yeah, it's not stopping
but that they're trying to make it so that the environment for the customers is also nice, so that they, it's not just McDonald's. It's like restaurants, diners, bookstores that have bathrooms and stuff too. So.
Lisa, can I ask you something?
Sure.
I didn't quite follow that part.
Yeah.
But they don't disturb with the young teenagers or something.
Right. In this particular article, it did say that they were allowing the teenagers to be staying there, even though they were also staying there for long periods of time, like hanging out or loitering. But the difference for the management was that at least the kids were buying stuff. They were spending money.
It's all about money.
Sure, yeah.
I don't think so. They don't like them, the elderly people. The kids have no money, and I think they don't buy anything, but they look nice.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody agree with Nihan? You think they just were going against the old guys?
No.
Chow, what do you think? Ha! I got you. Chow, where are you? You have a poster.
Economist.
Yes, this is capitalism. Okay, Chow, capitalism. Do you allow freeloaders?
Well, actually, I think it is McDonald's right to kick people off because they own the building. They have the property right on that, so they can decide which people can go there. But the market will say, if you don't allow the people to go there, you will lose the profit. So
perhaps, exactly.
The people will turn into the other restaurant, and the McDonald's will be kicked off out of the market. So at the very last, at the end, the McDonald's will allow the people to go back to their restaurant again. So that is the power of the market. But you cannot say, oh, McDonald's, you cannot just kick people off. They will realize it later. They will learn the lesson later.
Yeah. Okay. So there's some kind of balance, perhaps, that McDonald's has to find between, we call it goodwill. So, serving your customers, being a friendly business, allowing these things to happen, but also some kind of balance so that you're not just not making any money. I don't think, like Nihan, you don't have any fear that McDonald's is not making enough money at that location. I don't know.
Yes,
I actually
I
don't know
know.
if there has. Yeah, right. McDonald's
Please
usually
watch
profitable.
watch a documentary, Food
Yeah.
Industry. It was
Yeah.
an Oscar won documentary, and McDonald's is the how can I explain it? Is the third meat control in America, because all of the foods, all of the stuff, onions, potatoes, or everything, and for this reason, 30 years ago, the meat producers changed their style, and they just started a different way to produce the meat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
factory farming.
it's one, yeah, it's one of the reasons that Americans just feeding in that way. McDonald's and the other two companies are just really guilty, and I cannot accept that kind of thing. We don't like elderly people, and we just want to kick them up. No, it's no way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like it's a lot of people either. It doesn't sound like a group, I don't know, 5 people maybe or something. It's not like a big presence. It's not like 20 people who are being loud and noisy.
Yeah, but still, it's annoying. You have a business and you are there to make money. You have to pay taxes. Life in America is very hard.
Yeah.
I mean, and the money doesn't grow on trees. So, and you open your business and you have the same faces that came every day just to stay there.
Sure.
And occupy places where people sometimes you can. Sometimes, for example, I want to get inside to stay and eat quickly my hamburger and left, but there is no place to stay, so you have to eat it, stand up.
Yeah.
So I think it's there is, in addition, there are many places where those elderly people can go in New York and sit, and nobody will talk to them. For example, Central Park, or maybe they can go, and there in Central Park they may have more nice surrounding, and they may be more comfortable there than just sitting in a place where it smells hot dogs, smell McDonald's.
Here in Canada there are many places for elderly people, like clubs for elderly people. They can meet there to play like cards and to play pool, something like that.
Sure.
So they can spend there all day. I don't know why and I think in New York there are many communities, like Korean communities, Japanese, I don't know, Russian community, all the nations. I think so. I heard about that.
Yes, there are.
If they just want to meet with like just Koreans, I think they can. I find. I don't know why they stuck in McDonald's. It's not a good place.
Well, yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because in the article it did say that sometimes they leave and go to the senior center where they're giving out free meals. So there is a place to go, but I don't know why they like McDonald's. It's kind of funny, So.
Yeah, it's funny. No, it's not a very cool place.
I think it's a good idea to protest McDonald's because its damage is really huge, like a drug, like alcohol, like smoking. McDonald's has lots of things that did that for, and I think it's a good way to protest. Maybe I can gather some elderly people and
send them to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Well, Yuki, I heard that coffee was very expensive in Japan. Like you could get a cup of coffee
in Russia,
No, but I heard in Tokyo $9, but the reason why is because you're paying
No,
for space.
you
It's just for tourists, you
misunderstood.
know, Lisa.
No, coffee cafe in Tokyo is very cheap. One coffee hundred yen, $1.
Okay.
Yes. I think the price of coffee in Moscow is maybe five times
Really?
expensive, higher than in Tokyo. There are many. There are some coffee chain in Japan. One of them is Dottor chain. Maybe serve coffee. The price of maybe hundred and a half dollars, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's not so expensive. Yes, I think.
Okay.
And of course, McDonald's price of McDonald's coffee price of coffee in McDonald's is not so expensive.
Yeah.
So, although in Moscow, all the same, even coffee in McDonald's expensive, more than $3 maybe. And I think regarding this topics, yeah. I think McDonald's is a world corporation and they earned a lot of money. So I think they could allow elder people to occupy the space, even it was long time, because they are repeating customer. Even they buy a little, or only maybe potato chips, fried potato, yeah, not big burger, not big Mac, but all the same they are repeating customer, and they are elder person. I think every people have to respect elder people.
Yeah.
So such a story, manager McDonald call police. Yeah.
Yeah, they called the police. Yeah.
Yes, it is unbelievable. In Japan, it is not possible. We Japanese think customer is kind of goat. Most utmost existence.
Yeah.
So such a treatment with client is impossible.
Yeah.
Even they are such elder people who occupy so long time, it is impossible.
Yeah. Narelle, you're welcome. Rafael, does this happen in Brazil very often, where maybe older people gather in a restaurant or a cafe or a McDonald's or something?
Yes, unfortunately, it has some situations like this, and I think they have done the same thing. You know, they stare they kind of they not exactly with they have to call the police. They simply invited the people to leave the place. You know.
They just tell them. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Ask them to leave. Yeah. Okay, you've been here for 5 hours. Can you please leave? Yeah. There was a thing that went around on Facebook a while ago that was a picture of a sign for a Chinese food buffet in the United States here. So that's popular. You can go and you eat, food. And it said something like, you come, you eat, you go home, no stay 4 hours, something like that. And so it was saying, like, don't come and keep eating and eating and eating and eating. That was kind of funny. So Joe.
Yeah, but is that's their idea for a business, McDonald's. You have to eat the fast you could and leave. They want to.
Yeah, right. Fast
they don't
food.
want to.
Maybe we have to crack that idea.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, Nihana, like Chow was saying, it's the customer, it's the market. So if people keep going there, they keep supporting them. If everybody stopped going to McDonald's, there would be no McDonald's.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's our problem. We are our problem. Well, I don't go to McDonald's, but yes,
I will.
You're gonna go?
My 20 or 30 elder friends.
Chow's gonna change it all for us. He's going to fix the economic problems of the world.
Maybe.
Thank you, Chow. How quickly are you going to do that?
I don't know. Do it as soon as possible.
When he will speak fluent English, he will start to.
Yeah, he does good. Yeah, he's doing good.
Actually, he's pretty.
He's pretty fluent.
Yeah, but you know, do something in the politics, you need to be.
Yeah, but he told us he wants to be a professor. So.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna write. He's gonna write books. Maybe he'll write some books that people can read. You can get a YouTube channel, start making videos.
Good suggestion.
Yeah. Okay, Joe, did you want to say anything before we leave? We kind of went over our time a little bit, so.
Well, I also in Korea, this kind of thing, kicking out customers,
yes,
would not be acceptable.
Uh-huh.
Would not be, it's not something that is acceptable.
Okay.
Okay, but well, as I wrote in the chat box, I think this is especially problematic because fast food restaurants like McDonald's, they are heavily relying on the quicker customer turnaround for their profits. So yeah,
exactly.
so I think that's the reason why they had to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not possible in Korea also.
Okay. Yeah, I think different cultures have different, customs around going out and being out in public. You know, like in France, it's very common to sit in a cafe and watch people go by, and nobody comes and says, "Okay, leave." You know. So, but the fast food industry is particularly based on that kind of model. So, yeah. Okay, guys, thanks for coming to class and reading this article. It's interesting, and I'm going to look at that website for some more things to be reading. I don't have any more classes tonight or tomorrow because I'm going skiing, yay. But I don't know if I have a class on Sunday either. Maybe just check my calendar if you
Take care of yourself, Lisa.
Hey, yeah, I do. I can't keep up with my
kids.
Lisa. Okay, thank you guys. Have a good
day.
See you tomorrow on ski.
Bye.
Okay, yeah, have fun. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, okay, see ya. The article. Okay, this McDonald's will call 911 if you don't stick to the fast food. A group of Korean immigrants is in trouble for staying too long and ordering too little at this McD's in New York City. When fast food stops being, fast, McDonald's has a problem. That appears to be what's happening at a particular franchise location in Queens, New York, where a group of elderly Koreans that gathers there every day to gab and drink coffee has gone from being local color to something of an unwitting protest movement. Okay, Yuki, why don't we start with you?
Okay. From title, no?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The McDonald's will call 911 if you don't stick to the fast food. A group of Korean immigrants is in trouble for staying too long and ordering too little at this McDonald's in New York City. When fast food stopped being fast, McDonald's has a problem. That appeared to be what happening at the particular franchise location in Queens, New York, where a group of elderly Koreans that gathers there every day to gap and drink coffee has gone from being local color to something of an unwilling protest movement.
Okay, so to stick to, so it means if they are not being fat. How are you doing? Omar, your microphone's muted.
Yes, hello teacher, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Good. And Yuki, how are the apes? Yuki?
Yes, civilization of apes exists,
Yes.
but no one believed me.
No, they didn't believe you.
Yes, very sad.
I didn't understand the whole evolution of that story, so I just heard the last part, but it sounded like you guys were having fun, so that's always a good time.
I'm
Just
sorry
believe
for
him,
confusing you.
Linda, please.
Just
believe him. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
kind of nonsense.
Kind of a nonsense, yeah, but that's
Yes.
fine. You had people laughing. That's a skill. Okay, well, for something completely different now, besides the role playing and the apes, we're going to be reading here, and it's actually not a very long article like some of the articles that I choose, but I got it off of that website that you mentioned the other day, Nihan, the Take Part website. Yeah. So I was looking on there for something interesting and just came across this that I thought was kind of interesting and that would lead maybe into a little bit of a discussion. I think we will have time at the end.
Did you like the website?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it has pretty good articles.
Yeah, I didn't read a lot, but I read a lot of the headlines, like what they were about, and I was checking out different ones. But it seems like a good place, so I'm going to go there for more articles to read with people. So,
yes.
Yeah. Again, do you read that regularly?
Yes, for 2 months I found different nice stories who hasn't published before, and sometimes I catch some stories in New York Times that they just pick from the Take Part, and it's a really famous and big website actually. But I haven't read a lot, maybe 10 or 15 articles, but it was pretty different.
Yeah. Yeah, I had never heard of it before you told us, but I'm going to check it out some more. Okay. So this one is, I thought it was funny and interesting because here in the United States, of course you guys know about McDonald's, and McDonald's as well as other fast food restaurants and cafes, even like my own coffee shop that I used to own. I'm no longer an owner in that. What happens is people can come there and stay like all day. And so this is what this is talking about, and the title says, "This McDonald's will call 911 if you don't stick to the fast in fast food." So 911 is the emergency number here in the United States, so which you're only supposed to call 911 if it's really an emergency. Like if you're having, you're choking, or somebody's dying, or somebody got hurt, or there's an accident, or something like that. But so they're saying basically they'll call the cops. So yes, here we go. And Nurel, I want to say hi to you also before we start.
Thank you, Lisa.
Hi, Nurel. Hi. And there's the link for
But you just started with apes and everything get crazy.
Yuki's funny. I know in the role-playing classes with Yuki, I like it when he's like he plays the mom or the dad, and he can really
he's really creative.
Yeah, it's fun. Okay, hi Diana, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Welcome. Diana, where are you calling from?
I'm from Canada.
Oh, from Canada. What part?
Yeah. Manitoba.
Manitoba. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. But you're originally from?
From Israel.
Israel, right? Okay, I remember now.
Yeah.
So how are you doing?
I'm fine, yeah, but
Okay.
really cold.
Really cold. Do you have snow on the ground?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
A lot of snow.
Okay, well, stay
Yeah.
warm.
Thank you. Tomorrow we will go skiing.
Oh yeah, cool. I'm gonna go skiing also tomorrow. My first time for this season.
Okay.
Yeah. Where do you go?
Here, like in my city, there is a ski club.
Nice. Ski club. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take a bus up to the mountain or
No,
drive?
it's a little city here. There is no buses. It's just private vehicles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm asking because I'm going tomorrow, but we have what's called a ski bus. So it's a private, well, actually it's a school bus, but we pay, the kids pay, and it's like for teenagers, and then I'm a chaperone. So I get to go for free, and yeah, so
No, we have
it'll be
this opportunity.
I see. Okay. All right. And hi, Omar. Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to another hour of English classes here on Verbling.com. My name is Lisa, and I'm one of the English teachers here on Verbling.com. And in this hour, we're going to be having a reading class. So if you would like to practice your reading at the intermediate or above level, then feel free to join us in the Google Hangouts. The way that you do that is you click on the Join Class button. For the first 2 minutes of the class, once I start the video streaming live, the people who have reservations have an opportunity to come into the class, and then after that it's available for anybody else that is a member of Verbling.com. If you're coming across Verbling.com for the first time and you're checking this out, trying to figure out what's going on, one of the things that Verbling offers is English classes. We have English classes pretty much 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and sometimes 2 at a time. So you can take your classes anytime you want, in the day or the night, whatever works for your schedule. And all you need to do is become a member. So you do have to pay some money, but it's a pretty good deal if you get to use it often. So welcome, everybody. Hi there, Raphael. How are you?
Hi, Liz. I'm fine. Thank you. What about you?
Good. Good. I was just listening to the last part of the class with Samantha, and you guys were in the jungle, and it was very funny. I didn't get the whole thing. I listened a little bit when you started, and then I had to go to the store, and when I came back, I listened a little bit more, and I just know that you guys were laughing and having fun, and something about apes.
It's supposed to be role.
Right, role playing.